Signed, Conversations with Digital Mavericks. So how do you balance documenting a moment versus actually experiencing it when you're traveling? Because that's always the battle, right? Because now I have like 2 little kids, and when I'm traveling, like I want to capture them,
for sure,
you know, get the pictures, the video, etc. But I also want to experience the moment. So how do you balance that?
Great question. For me, it's really immersion to like one, and I get so much fulfillment from being able to document something that's happening in front of me. And like, even if I'm looking here, well, if I'm filming, I'm often looking ahead because I know where to put my hand, but I'm still really enjoying that moment. And maybe I'm just different than most people. Like, I don't like going to beaches and sitting there all day. I just can't. I have too much ADD. So I like to like, yeah, I sometimes I walk around and put my camera down and just go like walk around, but I'm having more fun. I'm having more fun filming it. So why would I leave my camera down? Like, so I guess I'm just an anomaly in that sense. And like, I get so much enjoyment by being able to document it. And I am very much in the moment. In fact, I would debate that I'm more in the moment because I'm paying attention to every freaking detail that's being said when I'm filming. And that's a question I get asked often by people. And that's how I would answer it.
Yeah. I mean, you've hacked that as well, because it sounds like by documenting it, you're experiencing it. Like, documenting and experiencing is the same thing for you.
For me, yeah. And then I get to like look back on videos, and when I have kids someday, I can be like, look at this, and like, that's awesome. And so maybe when I'm tired of all this stuff in 10 years from now, I'll start doing these similar experiences but not filming it. But actually, I don't think that will be the case. I just don't, because my biggest role model and inspiration was Anthony Bourdain, and he was like in his mid-60s before he took his own life, and he was still like doing it. I'm not going to say he was happy doing it, but like seeing him is what is inspiring for me to like be able to do it at an older age. So
yeah, and I see similarities with you too, because he also had a genuine curiosity, and I think really was very interested in what he was doing and talking to people. Yeah. So yeah, I see those similarities for sure. What's a story that you loved, that you documented, that didn't perform well? And what did you learn from that?
That's a good question. I thought you were going to ask me the opposite of a recent story that slapped that I really enjoyed, which I'll answer both. That's okay.
Yeah, that would be great.
I'm just poking around on my channel right now, just quickly. I wish I could share screen. Something that didn't perform well that I really enjoyed. Maybe, yeah, like, so I went to the Pakistan video. So I went to Pakistan in March this year. And if you remember, that was the time that India attacked Pakistan and they bombed Kashmir. I was in Pakistani Kashmir. I know that's a controversial statement, but in Pakistan, they're proud of Kashmir also. I don't want to get into that. But I was in Pakistani Kashmir, and India bombed
You're preaching to the choir, by the way. I know all about that.
I know. And India attacked like 20 miles away, this village, and a bunch of people were killed. And we didn't even hear it or know about it. And then I woke up to like a text from every single person that I've ever known since elementary school. Like, because I was posting live in Pakistan, and they were like, "Are you okay?" And then I was like, "What's going on?" I go to CNN, the first page, like big, like you know when CNN writes big text, like President,
like the gigantic, like New York Post style text.
Yes. It only happens like twice a year. It was like India attacks Pakistan, and I clicked on it, and I looked at the village, and I zoomed in on Google Maps, and it was the next town over, and I was like, "Shit." It was crazy.
Shit. That's definitely an oh shit moment.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm sure you remember when that happened. It was like,
oh yeah. And I remember watching your content. I remember being really afraid for you because you were stuck there because they closed the airspace.
So I ended up being stuck there for an extra 7 days. My friend Lee and I, Lee, the guy who I mentioned earlier, who's been to every country, we travel a lot together. We literally went to the airport in Islamabad every day for like 5 straight days. And every day they were like, come check again tomorrow if the flight's going. Come check again tomorrow if the flight's going. So we just ended up playing golf every day, which was great. And things were like more chill than the media makes it out to be. Like people were fine in Pakistan. But yeah, so we were stuck for a week, and I made a really, what I thought was a really like high story of like high stakes story of being stuck in Pakistan, and it didn't perform well. But like, I don't like, I'm posting like every other week. So I'm not, if something doesn't perform well, it used to bother me a lot. And now I'm just like, well, whoever watched it, hopefully enjoyed it. And then I'll just go to the next video. And a story I want to highlight that did really well, that I'm really happy it did really well. And I hope that you saw this one.
Well, I was going to ask you that.
Yeah, oh, but it was in your country. It was in the wettest city in the planet, which is in Meghalaya,
Oh,
India.
yes. I watched that.
Yeah, that video and story was so cool because it's a original, which is harder to find these
Yeah.
days when nobody's been there to
But
tell
it's
that
also
story.
crazy to think about how much rain that place gets. I mean, and the
So much,
fact that people can live there and it's just a
and
part of
they're so
life. Like,
happy, and they're so happy, and they all look Filipino, which is just it's so mind blowing. It's like when you think of India, if you go anywhere and just ask someone like if you showed up like India, like they think about like central, like southern India, central India, or like just the India that they hear about, Mumbai, Delhi, like these places,
yeah.
or like Hyderabad, whatever. But like the Seven Sisters is so amazing, and it's just like really rural and really green and zero pollution. And I was on the border of like Myanmar and Bangladesh, like that area where I told this story, and the people are so humble, and they don't even speak Hindi, and they only speak English in their native language, and it's just like you can't even get like a more opposite like stereotypical view of India than going to this part of India, and I really recommend you to go if you haven't been. But yeah, that was
I
a
mean, I didn't even know about it. I'll be honest with you.
really
Yeah, I mean, my grandparents were from Punjab and North India is so
yeah,
dominant. Like even Indian
yes,
restaurants here, it's
yes,
always North Indian food. It's
yes,
like,
always yes.
but India is also like, 100 countries in one country. I
It's
mean, it's,
exactly 100 countries in one, and it's the most
yeah.
populated country in the world, 1.45 billion, and it's rapidly growing, and it's so different. So yeah, the Seven Sisters is wonderful. That's the region of that what was on, and that video performed so well. It's over 7 million views in 2 months since I posted it, and it's just like I can tell when a video does well by the comments, not by the views, because I can
Hmm.
tell if people will
People are
write.
engaged.
People will write something like this, like, and I got a lot of this on that video. They're like, I've been watching you for 8 years and I've never once commented on a video, but this one, like, when I read comments like that, that's how I know that the video, like, resonated with
It
people.
broke through. Yeah,
For
that's
sure.
so cool. I'm sure that's really, really rewarding.
For sure.
So, how do you handle like all the travel and do you get burnt out? Like, what is, I guess it's sort of a two-part question because, what is the least understood part of being a full-time travel creator? Like, it looks really fun and glamorous, but there's that side of it, I'm sure that's just really exhausting.
Yeah, burnout is real. I got it a lot more on my quest to every country because I was like doing long stints in West Africa or like Middle East, and then in those times, and I also had a much slimmer budget back then, so I was getting sick more often and not sleeping well and getting bed bugs. So like that made it a lot harder. But now the way that I've found the balance, which is basically like 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off, or 2 months on, 2 months off. But it's usually in the 2 weeks. Months are harder now, like travel. So I would say the maximum trip I take is 3 weeks, which I'm leaving today for the Philippines, and I'll be back in 3 weeks. And that's kind of a sweet spot for me. Anything longer tends to be just hard for many reasons. And then, so I'll just shoot a lot of videos in 3 weeks. I'm shooting 4 in the next 3 weeks. And then I'll just cut, which is 2 months of content. And then I'll just come chill for like 4, 5, 6 weeks until I charge up the batteries, and then I go again. And that has been really healthy for me because I don't get burned out, because I know that I'm my foot on the gas on these trips. I'm going crazy, 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 and then I know I'm just gonna be chilling when I get home. So, and by chilling, I'm still working like 17-hour days, but I'm just not
Yeah.
actually like actively like running around a place shooting. So yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you do that and that you give yourself a break. And it sounds like that's a great way. That's a great way to manage it. So just a couple more like sort of general questions. Then we're going to get into like a fun lightning round. But obviously, I have to ask you, and I know you've done these lists before, and we're obviously going to link to all your socials and your YouTube channel. And I urge people to go check out your videos and your content. Favorite country, least favorite country to
Uh,
visit. I mean, not a reflection of
um,
the people, and we're not getting into all
okay.
that, but
My,
just in terms of your experience
I,
visiting.
I usually give top fives when people ask me, but I will choose favorites because usually I will choose one. So right now in this current moment, if you ask me gun to head, what's your favorite country? I would say Iran. And my least favorite
Oh,
country,
wow.
yeah, my least favorite country would be Guinea. Um,
Okay.
yeah,
Very specific. So
yeah.
why Iran?
Been 4 times. It's the most misconceived country in the world by far. It's the best and the largest example of the people don't equal their governments. Nobody in Iran likes the government. I mean, nobody. I mean, like nobody, because I've spent 2 months there and I've interviewed so many people and I've asked everyone. I went there during Ramadan, and about 99%, that is 99% of people in Iran do not fast. Even though all the restaurants are closed in the day and nobody's eating on the street, like in public because of the government, nobody fasts. Everyone's drinking, they're partying like crazy. I went to underground parties. I went to underground dance parties in Iran. I've never seen more alcohol. I've never seen more vodka being consumed in a 1 hour period of my life. Dancing. It's just like so different than what you think. Historically, it's amazing. The Persian Empire, the Silk Road, you have all these UNESCO World Heritage Sites. There's like 60 of them in Iran. It's extremely affordable, good food. It's a big country. There's 80 million people. There's so much to see and do. And you don't see a single tourist in Iran. And I freaking love that place. So Iran is top of the list. Yeah.
Yeah. It sounds like it's top of your list because it surprised you so much.
Yeah.
You go there and you're like, this is not what we see on what we see on TV.
Go ask anyone on the street. You live in New York, it's different. I live in Phoenix. Go ask anyone on the street if, hey, like, would you ever go to Iran? I would bet you like 80% of people would like aggressively be like, no, I'm not going. I'm no interest in Iran. Yeah.
I mean, I think it's even a higher percentage of that. And so what happened in Guinea?
I was stuck in a coup. Yeah, I mean, also, it's not only the coup.
So casual, yeah.
It's not only that, but
that
like,
probably wasn't that much fun.
No, it wasn't fun. We had to escape quickly, but I'm really plugged in with the Every Country crew and the people that are going to these places. And like, there's some countries that just really hard to meet local people. They're people that are extremely aggressive and rude and just like not willing to just try to meet you eye to eye and just be like, hey, you're a foreigner. Where are you from? Like, let's talk. Like, usually you can find that everywhere, but in Guinea, just like in Conakry, which is the capital, I just really didn't jam with anyone there. It's just, you just feel like you have to look over your shoulder. Even if there wasn't a coup, it's still like a pretty sketchy place to go. Nothing to do. Streets are filled with trash. It's just not the place you'd want to take your kids, put it that way.
Yeah. Yeah, that's too bad. Hopefully.
I really try to see the good everywhere. I really do. But in the 48 hours I spent in Guinea, and I was trying because I was documenting, I found more evil there than anywhere else. So would I give it another chance? Absolutely. I would love to go back and change my perspective, and I'm sure I would have a better time next time. But my least favorite place would be Guinea.
Sure. Yeah, and we're just asking you for your perspective. So that's totally understandable. And so what's a cultural value that you have seen abroad that you wish we could bring home and have more of here?
Family culture. Yeah. Almost everywhere else except for Western Europe. I would say Western Europe is the most similar to the US in terms of like, we're kind of independent and we want to like when we're 18, we want to try to move out, and it's way more independent in the US, way more. But like people that live in Germany and in France and in the UK, it's similar to how we are here. But any country in Africa, any country in Asia, any country in Latin America, they're so family oriented, and they spend a lot of time with their family, and they're close to their family, and they call their parents. And like, I'm like that, but most of this country is not, and it's sad. And when I go to the Philippines, it's like they're so family oriented, and they can't live far away from their family, and they give gifts to their family on a random Tuesday, and like that stuff is so cool, and I wish that we had that here.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, and also extended families often all live together in the same house, and
Exactly.
especially in a place like India, because I'm definitely familiar with that culture. So, I mean, I could talk to you for hours and hours, and I wish we could, because it's just, there's so many questions, and I'm sure like people are going to watch this and be like, why didn't you ask him this or that? And I mean, maybe we can do this again, but I know that you have to fly off to the Philippines, so I don't want to keep you for too long. But let's talk about your future plans. What is in Drew Binsky's future besides becoming a professional tennis player, which I'll let you speak more to?
Yeah, I just came off the court. You can see how I'm dressed. I've been playing, I've been so obsessed with tennis, and it's been really good for my health and just for my focus and mental. Like
what happened to golf?
Golf also. I played golf my whole life, and I got to a level, I plateaued and I couldn't get better. But tennis, I started as a beginner, and so I'm really addicted to the process of like getting better quickly. But yeah, so a lot of tennis. I started a tennis channel, so it's kind of fun to document, and hopefully that opens up some doors. But yeah, I see a long-term path in what I'm doing, as long as I can continue shooting stories that I want to shoot, and I don't feel tired or burnt out. Definitely gonna have kids in the next few years, so that'll change things for sure. But yeah, I mean, still going to be able to find time to travel and stuff with the family would be fun. And then yeah, I have a great team. My editors have been with me for like 3-4 years, so and I see a lot of like I see a long term with them, and I think they're enjoying it, and we've really grown this empire together. It's really not just me. Like I'm the one filming it and telling the stories, but like you are only as good as your team, and I really believe that, especially when it comes to post production, because these guys are like editing is hard and it's very tedious. So yeah, we're making some
Yeah.
great content, and I think I have like at least 10 more years of doing what I'm doing. Yeah.
Yeah. And well, you got to start the Drew Binsky like family channel. There's a lot of like family
Thought
travel
about it.
content.
I thought about it. It's a totally different audience from people that follow me, but there's a lot of overlap. Like my audience is like 20 to 30, mostly male. But there's a lot of like 50 plus and a lot of 40 plus and a lot of like 10-year-olds. So it's really wide. But I do think it would attract a new audience, and I know people that do have kids would appreciate it. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. So let's do the lightning round. These are the fun questions. This is a two-part question, which I seem to be asking you a lot of just because there's so much to learn from you. But sorry, what is your travel superpower and your travel kryptonite?
My superpower is being able to find the good anywhere. I could take a plane or a helicopter and you can drop me in the most random remote village, and I can like really connect with people on a deep level. And the kryptonite are things that I yeah, probably like I always think I can handle street food until I can't. So I like eating a lot of different foods, but as I get older, I realize that I do get sick a lot from food, and I'm really worried about like a long term like stomach ulcer or like getting like a worm or
Oh
something.
boy.
'Cause, like I have heard stories of travelers that got all these things, and so I'm trying to focus a little bit more on health. Even though I love to eat street food when I can, I'm saying no more than I have before to like trying pani puri, if you know what that is.
So what is the best street food you've ever eaten, and what is like the craziest thing you've ever tried? Like not even the worst, but like the craziest thing you've eaten.
Best street food, like my brain just goes straight to Bangkok because like the quality, like street food in Bangkok is like as good quality wise as you'll find in like Michelin star restaurants or in Vietnam. So like,
Yeah, I've heard that.
oh, it's so good. So like, I used to live in Bangkok, and there's one pad Thai place was across from my apartment, and it was like 35 cents for like the most delicious pad Thai. Here is like $30. I'm sure in New York it's like $40.
Yeah.
And it's just like the perfect amount of lime and the perfect like cooked. And so I would say Bangkok pad Thai is the best street food, and the worst or the most extreme thing I've eaten is man, I've eaten live octopus in Korea. I've eaten shark. I've eaten dog. I'm not happy about it, but I've tried it. I've eaten
Yeah.
baboon. I've eaten.
Oh
I pretty
God.
much, if humans are eating it, I'll try it. Except for the cannibal tribes I visited, I did not try human, but
Oh
I
jeez.
visited two cannibal tribes. But you have to draw the
You
line.
draw the line at
Yeah,
human.
draw
Okay,
the line of
good.
human, not monkey. Draw the line of human. Yeah.
Yes. Good to
Snake.
hear.
Sorry.
Oh yeah, snake.
Snake.
Snake. Did it taste like chicken? Is
Snake,
that like
snake tastes like chicken, and it's actually really good. And frog tastes like chicken too, a little chewier. Yeah.
wow, you've covered the whole spectrum there. What's the first thing that you pack every single time?
Camera, computer, but like headlamp, that's a good one for like like there's so many times that I'm out at night or filming at night, and like the world is not lit unless you're in like a first world country. That's like a really interesting
That's a great
realization.
point.
It's an interesting realization. Like first world country, like street lights everywhere, like house lights. In most other places in the world, unless you're in like Hong Kong, of course you're in a big city, but like it's dark. When it's dark outside, it's dark. Any village, so I always have a light in my head because then you don't have to like have a phone light with you or just worry about seeing. So that I'll probably pack a street light, headlamp. That's probably the first thing, and bug spray.
Oh yeah, bug
Spray.
spray for sure. I mean, I get eaten alive, so I can
Bug
totally
spray.
see how that's important.
hmm
What is your most impressive airport flex?
Like which airport have I been to that I'm most proud of that no one's been to?
Well, I think it's kind of like it could have two meanings. So I interpret that as being like, what hack can you teach the rest of us about airports? Like, is there any tricks of the
Yeah, for
trade? Because
sure.
you've been to so many.
Yeah, I hate checking bags, even though my bag is always overweight.
Mm-hmm.
I hate checking bags. I don't want the airline to lose it. Obviously, if you have a huge backpack, a huge suitcase, you have to check it. But like, I have like a pretty big wheelie bag. It's like a duffel bag, and it's way overweight and everything. But there's ways to like, there's so many different hacks that you can do to not have them check. Because I don't want to check a bag. I don't want to wait for the bag. I don't want the airline to risk losing it. I got places to be when I land places. And so there's like one hack is like in foreign countries, you can't get the boarding pass ahead of time. You have to approach the desk and talk to someone.
Mm-hmm.
So you just smile and just say, the first thing you just tell them is like, hi, I'm not checking bags today. And like, you just tell them. So then, because if they ask you, it's like, oh, you checking bag? And then you're like, no. And then they're going to look down and be like, oh, that bag looks like, let me weigh it. And as soon as they put it on the scale, it's game over. They're going to check it. So the best thing to do is be really nice and just literally say to them straight up, hi, hope your day's great. I'm not checking a bag today, blah, blah, blah. And then try to change sometimes they're still like looking to weigh it. So you just got to like change the topic. Be like, oh, is it busy today in the airport, or is the flight full, or like, what are you doing after work? Like, there's ways to just engage in a conversation that makes them not ask you to check a bag.
Oh my God, I love that. I could see Drew Binsky charming them at the airline desk there. That's good. I like that. By the way, I totally believe in that theory of just don't ask for permission, just tell somebody this is what I'm doing. And
yeah. And a lot of people, I've talked about this publicly on Instagram, and I got roasted. Everyone's like, you got to follow the rules. You got to follow this. I'm like, the bag goes on the plane no matter what. The bag is on the plane.
Right.
Okay? Like, I don't want to pay a $50.
I mean, that's true.
Yeah, I don't want to pay like all, and it's not like, I usually just put it takes up the same amount of space in the upper thing. It's not like it's like this big. It's just a bag. It's just heavier. And so it's so funny when people like, I'm like, shut up, guys. You also do all this like stuff too, that sneaky things that aren't legal, but you just get away with them. Yeah.
Right. No, exactly. Well, that's a good hack for sure. And the last question is, and we ask everybody this, every guest, if you were not a content creator, what would you be doing?
It's a good question. I would have liked to try to be a professional golfer because I was really good when I was going into college, but I would have had to go to college for that, like to play golf. So that dream has subsided. I can't see myself doing anything else. So it's a really hard question, but I probably would have gotten a 9-to-5, like all my college friends in Chicago or New York, some kind of businessy or marketing job at some big company, but I don't think I would have lasted very long. But that's probably what I would have done if I didn't.
It's so funny having watched your content for so long. I cannot imagine that for a second.
Not a second. I know.
Yeah. You actually made me think of something. I mean, would you ever consider going into politics, just knowing what you know about the world?
I think I would provide a lot of value and insight, but no, I'm not interested at all in going into politics.
Yeah, I don't blame you. We could use somebody like you, though.
Thank you.
So thank you so much, Drew. I really appreciate it. I know you're running to catch a plane onto the next destination.
On brand.
Yes, exactly. But this has been amazing. And like I said, I mean, I could talk to you for hours, and I know people are going to listen and be like, why didn't you ask him this or that? But hey, we'll try to follow up at some point. But safe travels. Thank you so much. It's been such a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you, Anita. You're the best.
Signed, Conversations with Digital Mavericks. This episode was produced by myself and Phoebe Dunn, edited by Carmine Mattia, social media strategy, Maureen Lauren Sedlak, and signed theme music by Carmine Mattia.